Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Amanda. I am a hand embroidery artist and I wanted to share with you a little bit of behind the scenes of me making this three-dimensional butterfly embroidery. This is mainly just a little bit of a preview of me assembling it and stitching it, and this pattern is brought to you by my patrons on Patreon. Each month, I post about 5 different options for embroidery designs I'd like to stitch, and I have my patrons vote whatever pattern is the most popular and which one wins is the one I stitch. Along with monthly patterns, I also have a few different tiers that offer things like monthly tutorials and pet portrait tutorials, so I have a lot to offer on there, and I like to share a little bit of bonus content, bonus downloads, and behind the scenes as well. I'll leave a link if you're interested, but otherwise I just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of what stump work is and allow you to see the process. If you've never done stump work embroidery before, you've never seen it before, it's a style of embroidery that you can usually make things more three-dimensional, more textured. There are stitches that are called raised stitches that are used a lot, and there's also things like wire work, and this particular embroidery is made out of wire work. When you place wire down on the fabric and secure it, it basically acts as a way to support the fabric and the embroidery so that you can cut it out, and it allows you to kind of mold it and position it in ways that you want it to lay. This particular pattern is actually the first one that I've completely cut out and offered. Everything else I've normally done has been stitched on base fabric, and then some of the wings or some sort of element is three-dimensional or made of wire work. I also included a fun little crafty option for this to make a butterfly terrarium, but you can also just cut the butterfly completely out and put it on a shelf or secure it on the wall when you're finished. I usually get a lot of questions about some of the supplies that I'm using, so I'll also link those in the description if you're interested in what I'm using, but I use crafting wire for the wire, and then I like to use stick and stitch stabilizer. It's just a lot easier to use because you can print directly on it, and it's water soluble, so it washes away when you're done. As far as embroidery thread, my favorite to use is DMC, but there's a lot of other high quality threads out there. It's definitely not a requirement to use DMC, but I would say that's probably the most common for embroidery patterns. If you have never done thread painting or stump work before, I would highly recommend a pattern like this. It can look a little intimidating at first, but I think that insects are a great subject matter to start on because it doesn't involve a ton of stitch direction changes. It's very straightforward with how you would fill in the wing, and generally the markings are pretty distinct. So while this style can take a little bit longer to do, I think that this pattern's pretty straightforward. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. I have it available right now for the month of August on my Patreon, and then I also have it available at full price on my Etsy and my website. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little preview of this pattern, and I hope you enjoy it if you decide to stitch along.